I volunteered for a new long-range fighter plane that they were testing, which turned out to be, they set that up in the neighborhood of Galveston. They sent our planes down there to Galveston, in Texas, to teach us to fly long range in Texas. And we were up there. At that time, they were talking about a plane that could stay up for 27 hours for the full daytime. But we did. They flew us out of that area in Texas. So we were making, I think, 20 hours. We could stay in the air for 20 hours. And they were getting ready to attack. This was Galveston. This was before we went to Sicily. And I had a big time with Galveston because they had us flying over to the edge of Rome, the edges of Rome, which was all hills and mountains. But it was a miracle then that there was a section of Sicily that was still hilly, and one day I was trying to hit a guy riding a motorcycle who was in the hills on the edge of Sicily, and I kept after that guy and kept after that guy and kept after that guy, and he kept popping out of the hills, among the hills, and finally one day I got him. I shot him. It was the guy on the motorcycle. But anyway, we were aware that Rome was a rough place. And we landed in a field in Naples.
Oh, you got it, right? Thank you. Have a good day. No more coffee?
No, sir.
All set? Okay. Hi. How are you doing?
But anyway, one day they flew us up to, they said we were going after Japan today. And they got us all together for this long flight, for which we used P-29s to guide us. We had no way of navigating from Pantelleria to Japan. But anyway, they put us on the wings of the B-29s, which led us up to the area of Japan, and we began to realize that we were looking over the coastline, and God, we did some work they had told us, put anything that moves. And we had found some trains, and we followed the train lines and shot up the trains. And we were on the edge of a bay, and I found a ship anchored on the edge of that, in a port on the edge of that bay. And when I started down for my dive, it was 7,000 foot. From 7,000 feet, I was firing all the way. And I discovered some things that they had done in Pantelleria that I hadn't, in Galveston, that I hadn't realized. They had set that plane up so that it had 8 guns, 4 in each wing. And the guns that were at the ends of the wings were set to converge at 750 yards. Maybe it was 900 yards. And then the other pair of guns were set to converge at around 600, and the other pair were set to converge around 250, and the other. Anyway, all I know is you could shoot our guns, and they would fire in a way that converged and became a solid mass of bullets after they had converged. And discovering that we could, on that dive, which was 7,000 feet, I discovered that my guns all converged at the same point and formed a mass of bullets that never separated anymore. And I was so proud of myself that I had found a way to shoot the guns so that they would stay together. And I shot at this ship that I had seen all the way down, and I was very proud of myself because I didn't see a single splash where a single bullet hit the water. This boat was in the water, and I was trying to sink it. And from 7,000 feet down, I was shooting and shooting and shooting. And I finally had to level off. My tail hit the water when I pulled out. But it was a miracle that I was able to dive all that. And I sank that ship. I punched a hole in that ship and sank it. And flew away. We found some other places to see. We found some fields with Japanese planes on them. We shot them up. I lost Regan, my wingman. I may have mentioned that in the story. I spent many weeks of our practice telling Regan, don't cut across when he was flying my wing. Don't cut across when I'm making a turn, because anybody who's shooting at me is gonna be hitting you in front of me on that turn. And I kept asking him, don't cut across on me. And Regan, during that run that I made on the Japanese tanker, he cut across on me and he got hit. And
let me go do a couple things and I'll be back. Take your time.
we were flying back on the wings of the B-29 to get back to the island, Stromboli, Candelaria. Anyway, we were trying to fly back there, and the B-29s were navigating, and Regan kept having engine troubles, and finally he had to bail out. They had a destroyer parked every 50 miles along that road, and when he bailed out, he was able to bail out in a way that they found him when he hit the water, and they put him in the hospital, and he got up and tried to walk somewhere after he was in the hospital, and he died. The blood clot killed him. But Jesus Christ. And I had told my mechanic to get me any films that the guns had taken while I was shooting. As I say, I shot to 7,000 feet, never missed once. And I've been thinking of contacting the Air Force to see if they can find those shots. But anyway,
that's a hell of a dive.
oh yeah.